Hey, so I figure I'd pop in a few minutes early since I'm gonna have to leave right at the hour mark. So welcome, happy Friday, everyone. Let's see who we have in here this morning. Let's make sure. Yep, it is set. So how is everyone? This is just a little Friday morning check-in where we talk about where we're at, maybe where we'd like to go, maybe if we're feeling stuck, or if we have wins, we share our wins with the community. But it's just a nice opportunity to talk about our mental health no matter where we're at. So let's check in. I'm already seeing hearts. Who's sending me hearts? I'm already seeing hearts and I don't even see any chat yet. Oh, there's Spencer. Good morning, Spencer. Thank you for the hearts. So if this is your first time joining, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. So it can get kind of crazy here in the chat. If you want to make sure that I see a message, please make sure you use that super chat or super sticker function. Usually all of those proceeds go toward my mental health outreach, but right now I'm kind of in need of a little support and I'm trying to get over some financial humps myself. So this will be the last stream where pledges and donations will be going towards getting me unstuck a little bit, which is immensely helpful for my mental health. But any insights or advice or anything I give is just based on my experiences or the experiences of others that I have interacted with. Even though now I do technically have an associate's in psychology, so I do have some sort of educational background as well. I'm not a licensed mental health professional. Hi, Nikolai. Oh, Creole. Hey, what's up? Yeah, it has been a while. Spencer says should be at work, had a hell of a week at work, and another damn near scare of going to the ER. This has been a super shitty month for me. Burned myself Monday. That is a lot. I feel like September has been really heavy for a lot of us. I feel like I kind of got hit with a lot too. I mean, August was building up. I feel like the last few months are building up, and now the storm is kind of tossing us all around, and I'm just waiting to land right now. And I'm just kind of in the eye of the storm. So it's kind of calm right now, but at the same time, I see all the chaos going on around me, and I'm just waiting to be tossed into a remote farm somewhere. I don't know. I was thinking the movie Twister, but yeah. So being joined by my boys this morning. I brought them up here to film that short, and then I can't let them go. So they've been up here with me, but I've been really happy. Like that has been the best thing for me lately because it gives me something to really look forward to. So watch out for that reaction on September 29th when they release their new song, because you can guarantee that I'm going to be listening to it at like 12:01 in the morning. If they release it at midnight, I'll be listening to it at 12:01, and you guys will get to see me geek out. You'll get to see my inner 13-year-old, my inner kid. Nikolai says, I'm a delivery driver and got bit by a dog. Just finished my treatment. Well, I'm glad you got treatment. I'm glad you're okay. I imagine that was pretty scary. Yes, Spencer, in sync. All of in sync. My snap cup's sitting up here and I feel like it's gonna fall. So I'm gonna put my snap cup over here for now. Well, we'll bring it back when it's time. I don't want it to break. I also don't want any of them to break. Spencer says, I know who that is. Yeah, David, are you in here? David, on the other hand, could not name all 5 of NSYNC for a while. Actually, as a matter of fact, I had a friend, Nick, that I went to Chicago with because so quick story, when I was 13, like when I was in the height of my NSYNC obsession, when they were really popular, I was supposed to go to their concert. My parents had scrimped and saved and got me tickets and backstage passes to go to their concert. My dad went to the hospital the day that the concert happened, and I chose to go be with my dad. And my dad had such immense guilt. And I never said anything really to him, but I always felt like I was missing something. Like there was this part of me that I just didn't get to complete. So back starting in 2015, I saw that Joey, where are you, Joey? Joey was doing a Broadway show in Vegas. So I went to that. I didn't check my account. I was like, I don't care if I don't have a place to live. I'm going to go see Joey. And so I went to that, and I met them all one by one, and it was really cathartic for me because it was like, okay, I get to go back and right this wrong, so to speak. So that was really awesome. But just getting to feel that energy again, just feeling that innocence, that nostalgia has been really, really helpful. Morning, David. We were just talking about you. May I bring up the term introvert? Yes, of course. Jake says my sister's going to be excited about the news. Man, I can't even tell you how excited I am. I've been talking to all of my friends, and it's just great because I was watching this video yesterday about them doing a hot wings challenge. So for those of you that don't know, I'm vegan. So watching people eat meat isn't the most appealing thing to me, but it was them doing the hot challenge with the wings. And I'm just sitting there. I go into it going, oh, Justin Timberlake's such a jerk. Because I had this kind of nasty experience with him. I'm going, Justin Timberlake's such a jerk. And I'm within 2.5 minutes, my inner 13-year-old is going, Justin is just so sweet and so warm and so perfect, and he can't do anything wrong, and I love him. So going back to that, it's been great. But Creels has been a rough month so far. My son has ASD and has been struggling a lot at school, and I've been away from home more than usual at work. Wife and I are working on it with help of a psychiatrist. I can relate to that. My son was diagnosed ADHD, and we just had a 504 appointment with his school to try and get some different accommodations for him. And his math teacher right now is the bane of my freaking existence. Like, I am having so much more stress over this woman than anything else in my life right now, and it's making me insane because I want him to succeed and I want him to have the accommodations he needs, and she's just not handling things in a timely manner, and it's just causing so much stress and frustration for all of the family members involved. So I can definitely relate to that. And he's seeing a professional as well. Spencer says, when I was younger, hanging with my older sister, jamming to tunes, she had a Backstreet Boys poster, and I kid you not, I told her, I swear to God, Kevin Richardson looks like our Uncle Tom. Your Uncle Tom must be pretty darn cute. Not that Kevin is my guy, and not that Backstreet Boys is my band, but I did get to meet them in 2015. They were all very sweet. Kevin kissed my cheek. I wouldn't let anyone kiss my cheek for months because Kevin kissed my right cheek, and Joey Fatone kissed my left cheek when I met him. But yeah, I went and found different events and met each of them in sync. So that meant a lot to me. Anthony says, hey, Amanda, I just wanted to ask, how do you decide which song you're going to react to next? Well, I actually, I can't talk. Patreons get priority requests. So I just want to keep that perk going for my Patreons, the people that support my outreach and my activism and stuff. But I do also have a master list for the channel where anytime somebody in the comments suggests a song, I go put that in the master list, and then I kind of look and see which ones people are requesting a lot and whatnot. And sometimes there's just songs that I think, hey, like with Hold On, I knew that song and I said, hey, that would probably be really good for conversation on the channel with the community. So this would be a really uplifting, motivational song. So although I can't do a first time reaction, I can do that. Or sometimes I'll just ask my Patreons, or I'll put polls over here on the community page of YouTube saying, hey, do you guys think my next song should be kind of upbeat, more melancholy, or which one of these do you think we should do next? I do have polls and stuff over on Patreon reasonably frequently. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to post a poll to see if you guys think that I should change the time of this, because I've gotten quite a few requests to change the time of the stream because it's kind of in the middle of a work day. So I have been contemplating that and reflecting on that. So I'm going to post a poll this week to see if you guys want me to keep it on Friday or maybe move it to another day, just so more people can be here, so we can have as many of the community members here as possible. Nikolai says, I feel like there's still a stigma around introverts. I'm not lonely. I just want to recharge my batteries. I feel like there is, and part of it is misunderstanding, and part of it is one of the things that most people do know about mental health is that those who are struggling and those who are depressed isolate. So a lot of people fear, oh, well, if you're isolating, it means you're depressed. When in fact, I mean, there are a lot of times where I just don't want to be around people. It's not because I'm depressed. It's not because I'm struggling with anxiety. It's just, I don't get a lot of me time, and my time is really precious to me. And sometimes I just need to, as you said, recharge. So it's totally understandable. And I don't really necessarily consider myself a true introvert because I am pretty personable. I do like to socialize with others. But the thing is for me is when I'm done, I'm done. Like I can be in a group, I can hang out, I can talk, I can enjoy that time. But when I'm done, I want you out of my like out of my aura. And I I find that very challenging because I don't want to be rude. I hate confrontation. I don't want to ask people to leave, but that's why I like never have people at my house. I always go meet people somewhere because I then have control over when I can leave, because I just feel very uncomfortable asking people to leave. So Jake says, keep it as it is. Spencer says, you owe me a shout out, you goof. I do. So Spencer was the one who requested Hold On, the Good Charlotte. And it was a song that I also really liked and really resonated with. So we can thank Spencer for bringing that reaction to the channel and for reminding me of that song. And I forgot to shout him out on the video. So you are absolutely right, Spencer. Thank you for bringing me back to Good Charlotte. Jake says, today is my me time to catch up on video games and sports. Yeah, I have, like I said, I have to get off here exactly at the hour because I have an appointment I need to go to. But after that, I have some homework to do and a client meet to do. And then I'm just going to catch up on my soap opera and probably read a little bit because I just can't keep going at a million miles an hour today. I need to rest a little. Matthew says, a lot of the stigma associated with mental health stems from those who have issues being misunderstood. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. I think that the quote from Joker says it best, that the hardest part about living with a mental illness is having to pretend that you don't. And people that make all these assumptions about mental health are making that from a vantage point of not dealing with mental health. So they're saying, well, why can't you just do this? Or why are you acting this way? Not understanding the dynamics and the mechanisms of the brain and how that works, and how our neurotransmitters and all that play into these behaviors and these thought patterns and whatnot. So I do agree that I think a lot of it is misunderstanding, and that's why I really aim to talk about it more so that people can see that it's really pretty normal and understand on a deeper level. I don't want to go into science, but oh god, I just stole almost my snap cups just determined to break today. But I think it's important that people understand that there is science behind it, and there are physiological explanations. It's not just, oh, well, you're just choosing to be ungrateful. You're just choosing to sit there and not do anything about your mental health. It's not exactly that cut and dry, that black and white. Nikolai says, Amanda, no one enters my apartment unless they call beforehand. Yeah, if somebody shows up at my door, it better either be one of my friends from out of town that's just surprising me. And even then I'd be going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Or somebody better be dead. Like I don't allow people to just randomly show up to hang out. That is not how I operate. So I want to set a little goal today. I know before we were doing 250. So let's say the goal today is 300. So that would immensely help with a couple of major issues. So let's set the goal today for that. If you do choose to do a larger pledge for the stream, please make sure you're doing so through PayPal or Venmo, which is in the stream description. So if you go back to one of the old streams, you'll see that information, because otherwise YouTube does take a cut. So it's very helpful if you do that. And actually, let me open up my email just in case so I can thank you if you do that. But yeah, it's been a really weird week. I feel like things are just kind of coming at me unexpectedly. Like my school is an hour away, and I drove to school the other day to find out that the power was out. So we couldn't have any class whatsoever. So everything had to be remote. Well, the teachers didn't want to try and figure that out last minute. So we just didn't have classes that day, which, okay, I can try and catch up on some other things and rest a little bit. But on the same token, it's but I had like mentally prepared myself for that. And now we're going to have to catch up because all the classes are going to be behind. And I'm telling myself, Amanda, it's not the end of the world. If you'll catch up, it's fine. Because I'm actually a little bit ahead on some of my stuff. So I'm doing fine. I just don't like having my groove thrown off like that. And I was proud of myself. You know what? This is one of my wins. So I'm going to do a little pre-win here, not for the snap cup unless you guys want to give snaps. But so I drove all the way there. And normally I feel like I'd be really frustrated. But I didn't feel frustration. I thought, you know what? I was listening to the Dead Meat podcast during my drive. And I said, you know what? I got to take a couple hours to myself to listen to my podcast and to do something I enjoyed. So even though I wouldn't have chosen to go there and back, and even though I could have perceived it as a waste of time, I chose to shift my mindset and say, okay, this wasn't a waste of time because I still got to do something that I enjoyed. So that was my win, was being able to shift that mindset of, oh my God, I'm so annoyed and I'm being horribly inconvenienced, to, hey, I managed to get in me time, do something I enjoyed. So Metal Mark says, you really went all in with NSYNC figurines, Amanda. Oh no, I've had these. I've had these the whole time. I just didn't bring them out. So I have boxes of posters and books and magazines and figures and keychains and lunch boxes and all sorts of trinkets from my teenage years. Eugene, you didn't. You have to put the apostrophe, or even better yet, an asterisk. It's technically a star before the N. I'm sighing at you. Matthew says, I'm not opening my door for anyone right now unless it's the police. There's a reason for that I'll get into privately. I totally understand it. Like, even if it was the police, I don't know that I'd open up if they didn't have a good reason to be there, simply because I've been very protective of my space and my energy lately. So Lennox Darkshade says, it was good for me and my family to move. 16 years and the house was falling apart, mold in the ceiling, the furnace was broken, and heat was not working. The landlord basically forced us to move. Sounds like that was a upgrade, to get out of that situation. Jason saw your response to the reunion for Aaron. Yeah. It was definitely a very exciting time for me, a very exciting day in the life of Amanda. So just know that on the 29th, I'm going to be a very, very happy panda. So I wanted to read some good news. We're about 15 minutes in. I want to read the good news article that I saw today. So California passes Right to Repair Act guaranteeing 7 years of parts for your phone. The state's Right to Repair Act stands out because it extends how long companies are required to provide access to repair materials. I was actually just complaining about this the other day, that phones, like, think back, I don't know how old everyone in the chat is, but I'm going to age myself here. Back in the early 2000s, you could throw your Nokia moving vehicle that's going 100 on the freeway and it can get run over. Nowadays, I can just drop and my screen is shattered. Like, you can drop the phone 6 inches and it's gonna. They design them to break down over time so the batteries don't last as long. So I think that this bill is amazing in protecting consumers. It says California just became the third state to pass an Electronics Right to Repair Act. Senate Bill 244 passed in a 50-0 vote in the California State Assembly on September 12th. The bill also passed the California Senate back in May with a 38-0 vote. The bill is now headed for a final concurrence vote in the Senate before heading to California Governor Gavin Newsom's desk. California now follows in the footsteps of Minnesota and New York. Both states approved similar right to repair legislation the past year. However, the California bill stands out in it requires companies to expand access to repair materials like parts, tools, documentation, and software for a longer period of time. The bill outlines 3 years for products costing $50 to $99.99 and 7 years for products priced at $100 or more. The bill will cover electronics and appliances made and sold after July 1st, 2021. While California's bill isn't the first, it is significant in that this is happening in California, which is where most big tech companies are based, but also because California is one of the most populated states in the US. Whatever legislation trends start in California tend to proliferate nationwide. Accessible, affordable, widely available repair benefits everyone, said Kyle Wyans, iFixit CEO, in a statement. iFixit, which is known for its right to repair advocacy and gadget teardowns, also co-sponsored SB 244. We're especially thrilled to see this bill pass in the state where iFixit is headquartered, which also happens to be big tech's backyard. Since right to repair can pass here, expect it to be on its way to a backyard near you. Another notable factor, Apple made waves last month when it announced throwing its support behind California's Right to Repair Act in a letter to Senator Susan Talamantes-Eggman, who authored the bill. This was a major reversal after Apple spent years lobbying against the right to repair. So I think Apple kind of realized, hey, they're on to us and we need to adjust this. But just from a fiscal standpoint of like, right now we're all in a really bad spot. Even those who are, upper middle class are struggling right now because of the cost of everything. And we shouldn't be having to replace our phones every year or two right now. If you're a tech junkie, I don't understand the whole concept of getting every new model. But if you can afford that, okay. But there are many of us that can't. And I feel like it's just another way of chaining us to the dependence of that system. So it's really frustrating when it's, okay, my freaking phone is broken again. I was almost paid off, so now I just have to sign a contract, signing up for another almost loan, like on a phone. So you have to pay it off again. So you sign the contract to pay it in installments. And I'm so happy that they're making sure that we're protected as consumers. Oh, here we go. Oh, I got a $50 pledge for NSYNC. I love it that it's got the 5 in it. Thank you so much. Justin says thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, I can't do Justin's voice, but Nikolai says, no need to buy a new phone. I got an iPhone 13 mini. I will use my phone until it's just not working anymore. I'm definitely a person that will use things until they're totally obsolete. I just don't believe in buying new tech all the time. I think it's kind of supporting a system that I don't really want to subscribe to. So I don't do that. Do Cartman's voice? I do. Oh my God. CP368 says, my phones have never cost more than $100. See, that's the thing is nowadays they're all, well, you can get a free phone or you just have to pay a little bit more on the bill. That's not free. Or sometimes they'll give you one free phone if you buy another phone for $1,500. And going, man, I remember when phones were like $40. Like a nice phone was $80, $90. And now they're $1,000 a pop. And I don't get it. Oh, David was checking in on Aaron. Aaron says, I see the surgeon again in a week or so. I think I have a while still. I still can barely move it. So yeah, Aaron's still on the repair. But hey, with all this NSYNC energy, I think it's going to help him heal faster. Because science. David says, you use things until they're obsolete. Did you tell Aaron Butler before you started dating? See, no, Aaron has skills that are never going to be obsolete, so I don't have to worry about that. CP368 says, my phone I bought 3 years ago was $70 on sale from regular price of $120. That is amazing. Like, that's amazing. Why are you crying, Aaron? That's a good thing. That means I'm not going to replace you unless you're Justin Timberlake. Yeah, Spencer says I owe Verizon $1,800. That's just freaking criminal. I don't get it. I'm still a 90s kid. Metal Mark says, I remember rotary dial cell phones. Yeah, same. I definitely do too. I definitely remember all the old stuff. Aaron, like making food. Sure, like making food. Jake, I don't just agree that phones are a necessary evil. I do need my phone as well. It's just that I don't think that we need to be spending $1,000 a year on phones. Eugene says, I don't need all those bells and whistles. Yeah, give me a decent camera and a phone that I can do my Duolingo and my gratitude app and call and text, and that's about all I need. Like, Aaron's phone gives me AIDS every time I look at it. It's just like, I swear to God, I get cancer looking at his phone. Not only because I'm so used to having my screen dimmed now, so looking at someone else's bright phone is like super blinding to me, but because there's just a bazillion apps and they're not organized, and I'm going, oh my God, my brain can't handle this. Like, I need them to be organized. I don't understand. So I have one screen of apps. I do have a couple folders. So I have one folder that's like French, apps and stuff for like Duolingo and whatnot. And then I have like a household folder that has bank and the garage door opener and stuff like that. But I swear to God, I can't look at all these apps. Like, that gives me anxiety just because it's so, number one, clutter. And I'm not calling you out, Aaron, because everybody does this. I know I'm the weird one here. But it's just like, oh my God, it's just so much to look at. Every time you open your phone, I just feel like I'm the type of person that when I look around and I see stuff, like it's not that I'm that type of person. Your brain is processing everything you look at. So when you open your phone and there's a million apps, you open your email and there's a million unread messages, or there's a pile of mail on the counter, your brain is processing that subconsciously, right? So the less I can shove into my brain, the better. There's already enough up there. It already never shuts up. I got so frustrated the other day because I wasn't sleeping. I was laying there and I couldn't sleep, and I tossed and turned, and my brain is racing and my thoughts are just going a million miles a minute. And finally I sit up and go, shut the up. I don't care. Like, we can do this tomorrow, brain. We can go through this tomorrow. But I physically sat up in bed and said, shut the F up, because I just was so exhausted and my brain just would not shut off. Eugene says, I have a flip up track phone that I pay $20 a month for, unlimited minutes. Yeah, I wish that I could still find one of those. I mean, I do Duolingo and stuff though, so I do use my phone for that, and I take pictures and stuff. Sometimes I shoot certain video aspects on it, but I mean, I have a camera, so for all intent and purpose, I could probably step away from that. Oh, Black Dog says, I miss Snake on Nokia 3300s. Yes. Them phones, as long as you don't touch the internet 20 years ago, great phones. Agreed. So I think that we should get into snaps. I'm going to make sure that we have time for everybody's snaps today. We're at 50 for pledges. Doing good, got lots of wins, lots of snaps. So for those of you who are new, inspired by Legally Blonde 2, just a way to share our wins, our warm fuzzies with the community, because mental health, yes, is about sharing our struggles, but it's also about acknowledging our wins and sometimes looking for our wins because they don't just pop out at us. But this comes with a song, so snap cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. See, they're getting better. They're getting louder. Let's see. John Paul says, my nephew celebrated 6 months sober this month. Yay! He and his beautiful wife were blessed with their first child last week, a healthy baby boy. I have never seen him look so proud or happy. His wife is the reason he's sober. She was his first sponsor. Together, they thrive. Snaps for the sobriety, for the child, for finding that healthy connection and dynamic. That's a huge win for your nephew. I'm very happy for those blessings and for that progress. And sometimes it is immensely helpful to have, thank you, Aaron. I will write down that $2. Sometimes it is immensely helpful, to have a sponsor, to have some kind of role model or person to look up to, or someone that you can connect to that can help you through that. I think it's a fair mixture of willpower and support, like one isn't going to succeed without the other. So there has to be that intrinsic willpower and that intrinsic motivation, but having others, be it other people in recovery or a partner or a best friend or a sibling or a therapist, whatever the case is, or an actual sponsor, is immensely, immensely helpful. Oh, Metalmark says that he can actually hear some of my snaps. Yay. Do I get snaps for better snaps? So from the mind of G says the dream. Okay, is this like a poem? Several years ago, I was sitting around feeling sorry for myself, angry at how I had screwed my life up so bad. Relatable. This was late 80s, early 90s. I went to bed that night miserable. That night, I dreamed I started life over and had a chance to do it all again, knowing what the outcome would be. Like when you say, if I knew then what I know now. Throughout the whole dream, I went through life with the option of changing my life's decisions. Thing is, I didn't change a thing. Whoa. Because everything happens for a reason. I woke up the next morning very happy, feeling optimistic about what my future would hold. I have lived my life without regrets ever since. That was the second greatest gift God has ever bestowed on me, the greatest being my wife, Erin. So live your life knowing there's a reason for what happens. Have a blessed day from the mind of G. Well, that's cool that you had a dream. So I'm going to give snaps for the dream that inspired that change in you, that inspired that shift of mindset. I think a lot of times we limit ourselves by our own mindset. And we trap ourselves in this self-loathing. So we say, oh my God, I screwed my life up so bad. There's nothing I can do. And once we accept there's nothing I can do, guess what we do? We do nothing. So then nothing changes. And when we accept, this is the past and this is what I've done and there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm saying this to myself too, because I'm in this process right now going through EMDR and some trauma release stuff. There's nothing we can do about those things that happened, but we can shift how we look at them today, how we show up today, how we show up tomorrow, like what things are we going to do today that are going to have a positive effect on tomorrow. So accepting that, yeah, things do happen for a reason. We might not like that reason. We might not like the outcome, but the more we can accept things, the more that we can take action over the things we actually have control over, so we can divert our energy in a more productive, efficient direction. Hi, James. I am still here, James. There's two James, both at once. Oh, Samage says, got engaged recently. Snaps, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy. Karen Cockerill says, this time around, my sister had her first job interview, which is great, and I've got an interview later today, so double snaps for interviews. Love it. That is always such a good feeling because it makes you feel like you're doing something to affect your future, in a positive way, like I was just saying. Spencer says, done vaping for life. Yes, so proud of you. Doing it to better myself. Had a doctor appointment Wednesday and told my doctor that I'm done doing that stuff, trying to get more serious about trying to get pregnant with my wife. It's been a difficult, hard journey of trying, but now getting more serious about it and more aware of the crap I'm putting in my body so I can become a dad. That's so exciting. So big snaps to you for being done with vaping. Congratulations. I know that's very difficult, but I'm very proud of you. And I will send all of the baby energy towards you and hope that works out for you. I'm really happy, though, that you're getting back into that mindset because when you're healthier, not only obviously does that make a successful pregnancy more likely, but when things do work out in the future, you'll be able to show up better, for your family. So good luck. And I will, like I said, be sending you all of that energy, most of that energy. Scorpio 1999 says, this was one of those weeks for me. I felt pushed, shoved, tested. However, something came out of it. It reignited that spark of creativity to get me writing again. I also realized something about that. Writing is more than just an outlet for me. It's this weapon I can wield against my shadow, this titan standing over me, an old line from something that's over a decade old. But anyway, I can use this to say, you don't get to win. I tell my story. You don't get to do that. Oh, I love that so much. That made me so happy. It felt good to reconnect with putting lyrics to the page, even if they were a bit angry in nature. Perhaps that's what it takes, though, to not only get the fire burning, but to keep it lit. It doesn't matter if they're angry or happy or sad or whatever they are. it's getting those feelings out, and that's important, and being able to express yourself in whatever way you're feeling at the time. So I'm glad that you were able to get some creativity back, and that you were able to push through that you were able to push through that challenge, that limiting mindset of, oh my God, everything's going wrong and I just can't do anything. And you did something, and I'm proud of you for that. And I'm excited to hear more of the work and lyrics, hopefully, if you feel like sharing. If not, that's okay too. Shannon Overton says, I got to a point where my doctor and I decided it was okay to get off my trazodone. Yay! So fingers crossed that I can stay off it and still sleep well. That's a big deal to me. Between seizure and mental health meds, sometimes I feel like a walking pharmacy. I can relate to that more than you could possibly know. I get it, that it can feel so frustrating when you feel kind of chained to these things. But I'm happy that you are able to get off that. I hope that you are able to find the resources and the skills and toolbox and whatnot you need to still be able to sleep and thrive mentally. But big snaps for you. That's a big step, and I'm very happy for you. Alrighty. Anthony J. Adventure says, I've been sober since November 2013. Great news to hear. Awesome, awesome. You're almost at here 10 years. That's very exciting. Congratulations. Very proud of you. And yes, indeed, awesome, awesome. Putum SFTW says, my dad used to leave the house like twice a year, and since he got this new medication 3 months ago, he's constantly out, and I'm extremely happy for him. I have the same issue, so I'm going to talk to my doc on the 11th, see if I can try it. I hope it works as well for me. Well, I'm very happy for your dad, so snaps to your dad for finding something that worked for him and helped him get out. That does make a huge difference, and I hope that your doctor's willing to do something to help you get either this medication or something that will be equally as effective. So good luck, and I'm rooting for you. Jake Smith says, got to take my Kim to the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium. Plus, I got to a 25-year class reunion on Saturday. I'm a little nervous to see my old... Oh, I get to go to a 25-year-old class reunion on Saturday. I'm a little nervous to see my old friends again, but I know they'll be happy to see me. That's really awesome. Snaps to you for taking time to go with your Kim on this outing. I feel like my snaps get weaker as this goes on. It has nothing to do with your wins, though. I feel like my hands just get tired. But I think they'll be happy to see you, and I think you'll have fun. I didn't go to my most recent one. I went to my 10-year, but I didn't go to my most recent one, and I was a little sad, but timing just didn't work out. But big snaps to you. Oh, a couple more. We're halfway, and we're only at 52 in pledges. Gotta get with the pledges. Oh, Anthony J. Adventure. Did you sneak 2 in here? You snuck 2 in here. You just snuck 2 wins. That's totally okay, though. So a woman I like at work was out for a bit with COVID. She's okay and returned to work. We always park near each other and walk together and are about the only people we actually talk to at work because everyone else is miserable and doesn't speak clear English. We work in a secure facility that has a security checkpoint. Our IDs scan us in, but she needs to be let in by management because she's still locked out. The manager came out, said there's not much work, and sent her home. She left her phone number with a note saying to text her with the winking face emoji. Ooh, hang on. Why is my eyebrow? I can't wiggle my eyebrow right now. There. I always feel so ridiculous when I try and make faces. And the smile emoji. I'm so excited. I haven't had a girl leave her number in my car since high school. I'm 37 now. I thought I'd have a great day, everyone. I'm so happy for you that you got a number. That I hope that you guys are able to connect more and get to know each other more. But see, little things that some of us would say, oh my God, this is horrible, can work out in the end. Oh, James says, can we all say we love Amanda way more than NSYNC would love her? No, they all need to love me. Crazy Hawk says, finally cleaned my apartment. That feels so good. I actually want to... My relaxation time this afternoon is going to be doing some cleaning because I feel like I just need to straighten up. The big snaps to you. Yes. So that is all of our snaps. We can get back into if anybody has any questions or any other snaps that they want to share or anything like that. I'd be happy to give snaps here as well. Chris, can you hold that? Who's behind you? JC, Chris, and Lance. I need you to hold the snack cup, the sacred vessel. Okay. Life is so weird sometimes. Life can get so very weird. Black Dog says, David, meds do mess with you. I don't know what you're taking, but all I can say is if the positives are better than the negatives, well, you can always explain that to your doc, yeah. Spencer says, don't bump the box. Shh, it's okay. It's okay, sweet Chris. Although my friend Bobby would get jealous of me for touching Chris or get upset with me for touching Chris, so I will back off. David says, I feel like a walking gumball machine after I take all my evening meds. I can feel everything rolling around in my gut. Oh, are gumball machines still a thing? Oh my God, I haven't seen one in a really long time. When did those go away? I feel like they just disappeared. Yeah, I just noticed I haven't seen one in a really long time. There's still a payphone. There's one at our library over in Tempe, and I don't go to Walmart, so I haven't been there in a long time. But the last time, a couple years ago, I went by a Walmart, like 15 minutes from me. There was still a payphone there because I remember Bryston saying, "What is that?" and me just dying a little inside. No, the boxes haven't been opened, Mark. I worry about the Snapchat one, that in sync doll. I feel like I missed something. But yeah, so I'm finally feeling like I'm getting a little bit back in the swing of things. I was really discouraged because I had several. Oh, was that a no? Okay, I thought that was a pledge. I had several reactions get blocked all in a row, and it was right as I was coming kind of out of this. I'm not saying that I'm coming out entirely, but I'm trying to kind of get back in the routine and the swing of things. And I'm just trying not to put a lot of pressure on myself. But right as I'm coming back, I had 3 right in a row get blocked. And I just didn't, I couldn't find the energy to just keep going if stuff was going to keep getting blocked. So I was really frustrated. And now it's, you know what, I'm just going to have fun with it. So I kind of shifted everything to, I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to have fun with the channel. I'm going to have fun with Instagram. Because I was trying to do like bullet journaling on Instagram. And I thought, man, this isn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. Because I thought it would be fun to just kind of be artsy for a while. But I decided to shift back to just posting what I feel like posting. So for a while I was, okay, I'm going to post motivational, inspirational stuff. And then I was, okay, I'm going to do journaling and stuff. And now I'm kind of just, you know what, I'll just post whatever I want to post and people will like it or they don't. But make sure you're following me over on Instagram at Mental Amanda. So my old account got deleted. So all of the love I can get over there is very, very appreciated. So if you're not following me over there, please do so. Oh, wow. CP368 says the one payphone left in my county was removed from its kiosk this week. That's just so crazy. Like, it's such a crazy shift of the times to me. I feel like I need a massage, like a really, really, really long massage. Warrior Poet says, oh, thank God a payphone still exists. I may yet be able to escape the Matrix after all. Indeed. But what's the real world going to be like at this point? If this is the Matrix, what's the real world going to be like? Oh my gosh. So I was in class yesterday because we had to do Zoom for class. So I was on the Zoom for my psychology of abnormal disorders and or psychology of, I think now they have to call it psychology of mental disorders. They can't say abnormal anymore. But anyway, so I was in that class yesterday and one of the individuals had said something to the class and to the professor about false memories and the world being a simulation and everything. And I private messaged him and shared the channel all time here on YouTube because I thought he would really enjoy it. And it's one of my favorite channels. So I thought I'd really enjoy it. And we got to talking, come to find out he's been newly indoctrinated into the dead meat community. Like he just started watching those videos a while back. And I'm going, oh my God, you don't even know. You don't even know. And we started talking about that. So I got a bit distracted in my class. And I would like to talk to him. Maybe some of you can give me advice. So I'd like to talk to him in class because he is deaf, so not a lot of people try to communicate with him and interact with him. But he's a very outgoing, personable person, seems very friendly. And I have to admit, I'm also a little intimidated because I don't know, how to properly interact with him in a positive way. Because I don't want him to feel I'm talking down to him, but I also don't want him to feel like I'm not accommodating him. So I just want to make sure that if I approach him and I talk to him, I'm doing it in a respectful and welcoming way. Definitely learn sign language. Yeah, because that's just, we'll just throw that on there. I would actually love to, but it seems very, very difficult. And I already speak another language, so trying to pick up one after that is not related at all, I feel like would be pretty challenging. I'm sure that I could pick up some phrases and stuff, but I feel like learning the entire language would be really challenging and time consuming. Who in here has seen Unfriended Dark Web? Because there's a little side thing about sign language and that kind of cracks me up. Good night, Nikolai. Metalmark Dead Meat is a channel here on YouTube, best known for his kill counts of horror movies. James A. Janice. Why my camera keeps adjusting and it's weirding me out. So we have 20 minutes. We have 20 minutes left and we've only raised $52. Come on, guys. I love you. I know we can do better than that. I need you. I need you to keep me sane right now. I need some things to get off my plate. And I know that I'm about to get hit with a couple of really stressful situations. So I'm trying to get other things off my plate. And that's why these pledges and stuff, that's why the pledges for the last couple of weeks have been going to me as opposed to the outreach. Like the Patreon's still going toward the outreach, but it's just because I need to get some stuff off my plate right now or I'm going to freak out. Like I'm going to totally freak out. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But thank you, Mick. There we go. So there's another 40. I appreciate you so much. Seriously, I appreciate it so much. It's such an immense help to just say, okay, I have a list. So I have my daily to-do list, and then I have my list of, okay, these are the things that I need to get off my plate. Unfortunately, quite a few of them are financial things right now. Some of them are like Bryson. We had to catch him up because he hadn't turned in a bunch of math assignments, and then he failed one of the unit exams. So we had to go back, catch him up on all the assignments, and then he has to retake the exam and 3 quizzes. And trying to catch him up and teach him when we don't even know this stuff and do that, like that was one of the things on the list, was get Bryson caught up on assignments and then retake the unit exam. So it's things like that are just, okay, I have to get these off my plate before these other big situations hit. So I talked about the IRS situation, and I don't have all the information on that yet, but it's been immensely stressful to deal with. Like getting audited by the IRS and them stating that there's inconsistencies, but you don't know what those are because you're doing the best you can to file through TurboTax and stuff. They're saying that there was something specific I was doing each year that was wrong. So they're going to penalize me. And I have no idea what those penalties are going to be, but I'm trying to get other financial things off my plate before that hits, because I know it's going to be. So it's just kind of being proactive. And I appreciate the community supporting and helping in that way. So I've been trying to, take on more clients and do other things to be able to just knock off as many things as possible. I've been selling things and taking on little side jobs and stuff, just trying to knock off as many things as possible during this time. Yeah, Aaron, you have no freaking idea. Doing taxes when you're self-employed, it's so challenging because there's all these little nuances that they don't tell you about. and that I kind of assumed that TurboTax was catching because it would ask me a question and I'd just answer the question, to the best of my knowledge. And now apparently I haven't been doing something right for years. So I'm going, oh my God, this could be so bad because their penalties are really steep. So I've spoken to a lawyer, and the lawyer's estimate of what all of the fees were going to build up to. Like, I can't afford to hire a lawyer to deal with this because I'll have to pay it either way. But he said that, yeah, the fees are going to be more than I friggin' make in a year. And it's just insane because he said in some of these cases, they won't take payments. Like they will drain you dry. And I said, well, what do they get? I know it's not like I just have $50,000 sitting around. And he said, well, they can assign jail time and I'm just going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I just want to know what's going on. So I'm trying to be proactive about other things, but I just want to know what's going on so I can start to address it, and figure out what's my next best step. Black Dog says, I support you, man, if I can. I'll drop a few bucks, but as a single father, best I can do is put you on my TV. I wish I could help. Stay strong. I completely understand. Do not feel stressed at all. I love you all the same. Eugene says, as a former student of ASL, I can tell you that you don't just learn sign language. You have to immerse yourself completely into the HOH/deaf culture. A lot of extracurricular activities and effort and money. Yeah, I would imagine. Aaron, so everyone's hankering to make 50,000. Yes, please make sure to use PayPal. Actually, no, don't use PayPal because the IRS can probably track that too. So if you just want to make a $50,000 donation, please let's have a conversation. We'll figure out another method. But yeah, don't use PayPal or YouTube. Please don't use YouTube. Metalmark says, I'm glad you liked REM. Everybody Hurts. I thought it would give you a lot of material to discuss for the channel. It absolutely did. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed that it had kind of the melancholy sound with the music itself. Like the lyrics were very uplifting. And it did have a lot of things to unpack. And I felt like I could have talked about it forever. And I didn't really touch on the scene of everybody getting out of the car and climbing either climbing up on the cars or just walking out together. It really was a great visual of we're all feeling stuck sometimes. We all don't know what to do. We all feel overwhelmed. We're all hurting at some point, and it was a great visual. It was a really good song and a really good reminder, and I know I needed that. Bye, Linksy. Nick says, I taught my daughter the sign language alphabet when she was a kid, and after she got shot, she remembered the alphabet to try to tell the nurse what she needed. That's so cute. Why do I suddenly feel the need to put 50 cutout letter Ks in an envelope and mail them to Aaron Butler? I will paper cut you with every single one of them if you do that right now. But seriously, I'm trying, to just sort things out. Sometimes that's all you can really do is say, what do I have control over right now? What can I sort out? I keep telling myself there's nothing you can do to speed this process up. Just be as prepared as you can be. And that's what I'm trying to do, is be as prepared as I can be. Hey, Casca. So we only have about 10 minutes left here. So anybody wants to get any last snaps or pledges or questions or just struggles, anything at all, just drop it here. Casca, the dog father, is here. I love it. Where's my... See, I'm thirsty. I learned, actually, Nick, I learned the sign language alphabet when I was a kid and then again as an adult, and I keep forgetting most of it. Spencer's feeling homesick. I can get that. So if you guys watched my little NSYNC short, Tracy, who's in it, she actually is my best friend since 7th grade. So the girl in it is my best friend, one of my best friends. And Joey was her guy. So we all had our own guy. I had a friend for each member of NSYNC. And I doing that was really amazing and fun because we got to connect and we got to reminisce and stuff. But on the same token, it was hard because it made me a little homesick. But now that my childhood house has burned down, it also just feels very sad. Like I don't have that to go home to anymore. So that's a bit of a challenge. Middle Mark says, Amanda, what is your college class schedule for fall? I got here late today. I am in psychology for, I'm just going to say abnormal disorders, but psychology for mental health disorders, forensics. So it's forensics 105. So it has a lot of there's 2 forensics classes and I can only get into one of them. But this one has like ballistics and fingerprinting and drugs and stuff like that. We're in the drug chapter right now. And then I have psychology and law. And then I have a lab. I forgot a lab for forensics. So the forensics has its lab. And then what's my other one? It's oh my God, like an environmental class on environmental protection. David, I'm not seeing NSYNC without eyebrows. I don't even want to come in here and look at this Justin doll without full makeup on, all right? Like, y'all don't even understand. Forensics is a super interesting class, Mark. CP368 says, feeling a little anxiety after hearing some friends of the girl who has been showing interest in me talking about the large age difference between us. Oh yeah, I can see why that would be frustrating. David says, if you're as klutzy as you say, should you have that water that close to computer? Shh. Thank you, Mick. So we're about a third of the way with like 10 minutes left. 50, 90. Yeah, so we're at 112 and the goal is 300. So we're about a third of the way there with 8 minutes left. Cross my fingers for a miracle. Nick says, sign language, let her let us know what she wanted and let me know she was still in there and her memory was still intact. That's so beautiful. I wonder why that's not a more well-known thing that they do for people who are paralyzed. I would think that that would be a more common thing because most of the time, in many cases, they have some kind of control over their hands. I mean, not every time. There are people that are totally paralyzed, but oh, Jake says, I'm curious as to how bullet journaling works. I can always make a video about it. I did post a lot of stuff over on my Instagram, so if you want to go check that out, feel free and then ask me any questions that you might have. Black Dog says, David, Aaron, the best way would be to send precious metals, I guess, through mail or delivery. Hey, gotta help with some dodgy ideas. Amanda helps a damn lot for me and a lot for others. Hey, precious metals is a whole lot better than crystal meth. So, yeah. Oh, we were talking about Breaking Bad. My friend's class last night was great. Good afternoon, United States Marine. Whoa, I feel like I just went to take a breath and kind of lost myself for a second. We're opposed to dodgy ideas. No, sir, we are not. We are not opposed to dodgy ideas. We are open to ideas. Thank you, David, for posting my Instagram handle. Spencer says, just miss my family and all the people that did everything for me. I miss my family so much. I actually just had kind of a breakdown yesterday about missing my mom. Sometimes it just hits. I mean, I lost my mom in 07, my dad 05, and sometimes it just hits really hard. My dad's birthday was, what was it, Sunday? Yeah, last Sunday. So it's just challenging sometimes, you know, when we're missing people. It hits out of nowhere. Either, I mean, I miss Tracy all the time too because she's not here. She's back home. Metal Mark says, Amanda, I know your parents are both gone. September 9th was the anniversary of my dad's death. I can't believe it's been 24 years. It's been freaking me out that I am almost to the point where I've lived half of my life without my dad. That freaks me out because in my brain, my mind has separated this into the before time and the after time. So it's the before my parents passed away is this life, and then the after time is this life. And it's still a life and I'm still here, but it feels like a completely different life. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel the same. And I know it never really will. David says, Amanda Butler, time for the Aaron and Amanda USA reality TV show. If that's what it took right now, I would be all over that. I would let them put all the cameras in my house right now if that's what it took to sort out all of the financial drama. Aaron says, not going to happen. I cannot stand reality TV. Gross. Excuse me. Would you rather do that or porn? And I'm not doing that. Just FYI. Metal Mark says it's kind of like two different lives. I get that. It really is. It's just like my life without my mom is a whole different dynamic. And that was something that after my mom passed, the thing I struggled with the most was I'm their daughter. Like that's my identity. My whole identity was I am my parents' daughter. And even though I had obviously interests and things along the way, that was my identity at the end of the day. And then it's, well, who am I now? I have no idea who I am if I'm not their daughter anymore. And it really threw me for a loop. And I was really confused and I just felt like I didn't have an identity for a really long time. David says reality TV is like porn, same acting skills. You're not wrong. No, Nick. No, those are my goods. Mine. Oh, goodness. Family business, reality show about the porn business. That's a thing? Okay. Metamark says you're your own person now. Now you are the mom. Yeah, that's at the time I wasn't though. Like at the time I didn't have my son, and I have had to shift that mindset. And one of the big things I did when I was coming out of 3 minutes. Okay. One of the big things I did when I was coming out of the darkness was I sat down, and this was huge because my diagnosis is BPD, which means we already have a shaky sense of identity anyway. So I sat down and I just wrote down different facts about myself. And my goal was 50 and I made it. I got 50 facts about myself, inspired by Matthew Santoro's 50 Amazing Facts videos. But I decided to just write down 50 facts, and it could be anything from this is my favorite color, this is my favorite song, this is my viewpoint on XYZ, and just all these different things that kind of made up who is Amanda. And it really helped me kind of reconnect with my identity and be honest with myself about who I was, and kind of not find yourself because you're not lost, but figure out who you are again. David says, I haven't had a grandparent in 20 years. Both my parents are in their 70s. Yeah, I lost my grandparents. I think I lost my grandparents before the NSYNC phase, and that was in 98. So yeah, I haven't had any in over 20 years either. Yeah, it is kind of a self-identity test, Middle Mark. Well, we have 2 minutes. I have to be getting off here. Sorry that I can't stay longer. I like to make them a little bit longer nowadays, but as it is today, it's just kind of back-to-back appointments and whatnot. So I can't stay longer. I'm so sorry, but thank you guys. Thank you, Nick. And those who pledged here, I really appreciate it, and helping me get back on my feet and get back in my groove and get things going again. I really do appreciate you. If you're watching this at a later time, you can use the links below to make a pledge as well if you're just wanting to support the cause, which today the cause is me. And then after this, we're going to go back into the pledges going toward the outreach again. And I'm going to try and figure out a way. Thank you, Nick. You just spoil me to death. Thank you so much. The pledges will go back out into the outreach, and I'm trying to figure out a way to film shorts to share with you guys some of the stuff that we do so you can see it and share in that joy. But I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that. But hopefully be able to be doing that. So let's see. So we're at 152. So we made it halfway. We made it halfway to the pledge. And if we do hit the pledge goal, I'll make sure to post over in the community so you guys know. So if people donate later by Venmo or PayPal, I will make sure to update and let you guys know. So So thank you so much. And I will post that poll also over on the community page, just to see what you guys think, if we should keep the streams on Fridays or if we should move them. I just want to make sure that as many people as possible are able to join. So I want to make sure that the pack can be here and that they're at a good time for as many people as possible. I know it can't be everyone, but for as many people as possible. Um, so yes, I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Mwah.